Okay, welcome back. Today I'm going to start a brand new practice exam series. So I will be taking an RBT exam and I will be going through my thought process as a BCBA, how I would answer the questions, and how I would train you to answer the questions. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please like and subscribe. It helps me out. If you need any RBT exam study materials, check out our website. Check out one of these links. I'll put everything in the comments and descriptions below. Other than that, any questions, please let me know. Keep studying hard. Okay. You can pass the exam. I promise. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. So I'm going to go through each question. I'm going to give you my thought process. Okay. As I'm doing it, you try to answer the question. Okay. And see if we come up with the same answer. All right. So start with number one. Which of the following is the best example of maintaining client dignity? Okay. So this is an ethics question. The RBT exam is going to test you on your knowledge of ethics. Typically, they're common sense, right? About respect, okay? Doing the right thing, doing what should be done, okay? So these questions aren't too difficult, but you need to choose the best answer and use some common sense, right? So when we're talking about client dignity, okay, we're talking about respect, basic needs, okay, basic human rights, right? Our clients have the right to all of those things just like we do. So, what of the following is the best example of maintaining that dignity? And on the test, they want the best answer. Okay. So, on a couple questions, I'm going to show you the reason why you need to find the best answer, okay, and not the only decent answer. So, for this question, which of the following is the best example of maintaining client dignity? A, explaining to the waitress that your client has autism during a CBI. So, CBI is a community-based intervention, okay? So in this example, you'd be at a restaurant with your client. There's no reason to explain to people who don't know your client that they have autism. Okay. Your client might not want people to know, right? And that's their choice. Okay. So A is not maintaining client dignity. B, not restricting the client's right to food or water. Yes, right? They have a basic right and a basic need to food or water. Okay. So you're not allowed to restrict that right. Okay. Now, there are some interventions that call for restricting, dessert or snacks or specific foods. That's different. You can't just restrict all access to food and water from your client. Okay. Now, what about C and D? Sharing your client's information with a peer or sharing a client's information with other RBTs. You should never share client's information with anybody who isn't privy to that information. Okay. There are laws, there are ethics. Okay. It violates a lot of different things. So you shouldn't do it. Okay, so the answer here is B. When you're answering questions, always look at all the answer choices, even if you think you have the answer, because we want the best answer. Okay. All right, question 2, easy question. As an RBT, you're required to know why behavior happens. These are commonly referred to as functions of behavior. What are the 4 functions? As an RBT, you must know the 4 functions. Okay, memorize them, learn them today. Okay, start here. So what are the 4 functions? A, escape, tangible, automatic, attention. Yes, right? Easy question. Now let's look at B, C, and D and why aren't those correct? Well, B has sadness and control. Sadness is an emotion. Emotions are not functions, okay? And then control, you might hear people talk about it like it's a function, okay? But when we talk about the 4 major ones, control is not included in that list. B is out. Sensory, automatic, tangible, escape. What's the problem here? Well, automatic, tangible, escape are good. Sensory is not. You'll hear the word sensory a lot working with children with autism. Okay. It is not a function. C is out. And then D, fear and anger, immediate red flags. Immediately, you know this cannot be the answer. So, escape, tangible, automatic reinforcement, and attention. Question 3. When you answer questions in science class, you receive praise, so you continue answering questions. When you answer questions during English class, you receive no praise and stop answering questions. What is this an example of? So, good question, good ABA question, okay? So, think about the behavior. What behavior are we looking at? Answering questions, okay? In one setting in science, you answer a question, you get praise, you keep answering questions. What's happening? You're being reinforced. In English class, you answer a question, you receive no praise, so you stop answering questions. what's happening? Extinction. So when you reinforce behavior in one scenario and put the other behavior or the behavior in another scenario on extinction, what are you doing? Are you shaping? Well, no, because we're not teaching a behavior. We're not reinforcing approximations. Okay. We already have our behavior, right? Answering questions. Now it just comes down to reinforcing and not reinforcing. So we're not shaping. Differential reinforcement. Yes, this is textbook differential reinforcement. Okay. Reinforce in one scenario, extinction in others. Behavior starts happening in the first scenario, but not in the others. This is textbook differential reinforcement. Reinforcement, extinction. Okay. Punishment. No, nothing's being punished. Okay. You're stopping extinction for answering questions in English class, right? But that is not punishment. That is extinction. And then D, positive reinforcement. Well, now you might say, well, hold on, in science class, you are getting reinforced. Right. But we have to look at the entire question. What's happening in English? Okay. Extinction. So this whole scenario, okay, is differential reinforcement. That's why I say, one, choose the best answer, and two, read all your answer choices. Okay. So you don't pick A, right? But the better option is down below. So hard question, but really good question. Make sure you understand, okay, question 3. All right, question 4. Which of the following is part of an RBT's role during service delivery? Is it A, babysitting for the client, B, implement skill acquisition plan, C, conducting FBAs, or D, modifying the treatment plan? So if you watch my videos, okay, you know I like to ask this question. And the reason I asked this question, okay, is because they want to know, okay, the BACB, the people giving the exam, want to know that you understand your role. Okay, so I can almost guarantee you're going to see a question like this on the exam. So I'm trying to reiterate the importance of it. Okay, so is your role babysitting? No, you're not a babysitter, right? This is a professional relationship. Okay, you do not babysit, right? You're there to work on things. Okay, and you definitely don't babysit outside of work. Okay, because then you're engaging in dual relationships and ethical violations and etc. Okay, A is out. C, conducting FBAs, and D, modifying the treatment plan. You aren't going to conduct assessments alone, and you aren't going to modify treatment plans alone. You might assist in these things in assessments and treatment planning and parent training. But as RBTs, okay, you won't be doing that independently. Okay, what you will be doing is implementation. So the primary role of the RBT is implementation. Okay, I'm just going to keep reiterating this, okay, because they really want you to understand that. Okay, it's important you know that for the test. Okay, so your role is implementing the skill acquisition plan. Question 5. As your friend is leaving your house, you notice they left their phone on the counter. You yell to your friend, wait, causing your friend to turn around. Seeing the phone is a what? This is a great question, hard question, okay? This would be one of the harder questions on the exam, okay? So, what is happening? Friend leaves the house, okay? They're leaving, okay? They're visiting, gone. Only when you see the phone do you yell, wait, causing your friend to turn around. So think to yourself, could you have yelled, wait, at any other time? Yes. Your friend turning around and coming back, right? That was always available. But did you want to, or did you need to, right? Was the motivation there? No. What increased the value, okay, or changed the value of the event of yelling for your friend and your friend coming back to you? Seeing the phone, okay? So seeing the phone altered your motivation, okay, for yelling wait. Therefore, seeing the phone is what? A motivating operation. Is seeing the phone a consequence? Well, no, because it comes before yelling at your friend, right? You see the phone first, okay? Is it an SD? It's not an SD, okay, because the event was always there, right? You could have yelled wait, your friend would have turned around, they would have come back and seen you, okay, and that the reinforcement was always there, okay, the consequence was always there. Not until you saw the phone was that more valuable, okay. That's the key, right? It might always be there, okay, but the MO alters your motivation to do it, okay. So it's like walking by a house it's not on fire, you can yell fire, right? And people might evacuate, okay? But the house isn't on fire. Now, if you walk by the house and you see the house and it's on fire, now the motivation has changed, right? Yelling fire really increases in value because evacuating those people has increased in value, okay? So you have to think about MOs, okay, make you want or not want to do something, okay? It alters the value. SD just signals, okay, reinforcement or that consequence is available, okay? And then D, behavior. Yes, right, but what's the best answer? MO, okay? All right. So understand that question, okay? That's a tricky question, right? That would be one of the harder questions, I think. If you do understand that question, okay, you're really, really on the right path, okay? All right. Question 6. Which of the following is an example of extinction? Okay. So what is extinction? Extinction is removing reinforcement for a previously reinforced behavior. So how are we going to do that? A, your client spent $30 a day on Roblox last month. His parents found out and removed the credit card from his account. Now, when he attempts to spend money on Roblox, he isn't able to buy anything. Okay. Well, that looks pretty good, right? So used to, he would go onto Roblox, push the button, purchase. Now what happens? Pushes the button, no purchase. What's happened? We've removed the reinforcement from Roblox. Okay. A looks pretty good. B, anytime you cut yourself, you apply a Band-Aid to stop the bleeding. Okay. Are you putting anything on extinction here? No, you're just removing the bleeding, okay, by adding a Band-Aid. Okay. So that's negative reinforcement. During allergy season, you are constantly sneezing and sniffling. Every day during allergy season, you take medicine to stop the sneezing. Okay, same idea here, right? You're not putting anything on extinction, okay? You're adding, okay, this medicine to stop your sneezing, right? So nothing's going on extinction. You're not removing any reinforcement. At an Italian restaurant, you order chicken parmesan. The waiter brings you spaghetti and meatballs. You request to talk to the manager, and the manager apologizes and brings you your correct meal. Okay, no extinction here, right? I mean, if you wanted to break it down, right? You see the spaghetti, it's wrong. You talk to the manager. Manager apologizes. He brings you a correct meal. Okay, um, there's no extinction going on. We're not removing any reinforcement. There's no previously reinforced behavior. Okay, if anything, asking to talk to the manager was reinforced because you got a new meal. Okay. So it's pretty much the opposite of extinction, right? You ask to talk to the manager, manager apologizes, you get a new meal. Your behavior of asking to talk to the manager was reinforced. So the only situation here where we took a previously reinforced behavior, okay, spending money on Roblox, buying things on Roblox, and then removing that reinforcement, no longer being able to buy anything, is question A, or answer A. Okay, so another good question. Okay, good way to understand extinction there. Question 7, you have worked with the client for 6 months now, and you have a good relationship with the family. The mom needs a babysitter and asked your BCBA if you can take the job. The BCBA says, of course, and directs you to babysit Saturday night for the family. What should you do? This is a scenario where your BCBA is telling you to do something. However, okay, what's wrong here, right? Are you allowed to babysit for a client, okay, off the clock, parents are gone, okay, a lot of issues. Are you allowed to do this? No, right? But your BCBA says you should do it or you need to do it. What do you do? Okay, as the RBT, what do you do? A, tell them you will babysit but cancel the last minute to protect yourself. No, that's not right, okay, because now you're jeopardizing your relationship with the family, with the parents, okay, something you don't want to do. You want to have a good relationship with the family. So you don't want to do A. B, babysit for the family. You listen to your supervisor. No, okay, your supervisor is there to guide you. They're there to direct you. And if they're their boss, then yes, there are times you will need to listen to them. But if they're asking you to do something unethical and that violates the BACB ethical code, okay, or violates a law, or violates a regulation, or violates policy, you aren't required to do that, and you shouldn't do it. Okay, B is out. C, request to come off the case. Your relationship with the family is now too personal. Not necessarily. It's not quite to that point yet, right? Maybe the client didn't know. Maybe they were unaware you couldn't babysit. Okay. So you can first have a conversation, right, and explain to them you're not allowed to babysit. Okay. It's unethical, right? But you don't necessarily need to come off the case. D, decline and remind your BCBA that babysitting the client without parents home would be unethical. Yes. Okay. So you don't have to go dramatic and come off the case and quit and all this. Okay. There's a lot of things that could happen. The parent didn't know, right? The BCBA just made a mistake and just nonchalantly agreed to it. Okay. Who knows? There's a lot of benefit of the doubt here. Okay. So no, you're not required and you shouldn't. Okay. Disobey ethics or disobey laws because you're told to. All right. But all you need to do, right? Politely remind your BCBA that it would be unethical and you can't do it. Question 8. Which of the following best describes behavior? So for behavior, what do we want? We want complete, we want objective, we want measurable, we want observable. Okay. Which of the following fits those descriptions? Bill doesn't like being hot, so he turns on the air conditioner. What is wrong here? Okay. How do we know Bill turned on the air conditioner because he doesn't like being hot? Okay. Can you observe liking? Can you measure liking? No, right? So these emotions, these mentalisms, okay, these constructs, we can't describe behavior like that. Now, you could have just put Bill turned on the air conditioner. That's a behavior, okay? But adding things like Bill liked doing it, or Bill didn't like it, or Bill was upset, okay? We don't describe behavior in those terms. We can't observe it, we can't measure it. B, Susan dropped her pencil and then turned on the light. This is good, right? Are they related? Well, we're not sure, but what happened? Susan dropped her pencil and then she turned on the light. Okay. It's objective, it's observable, it's measurable. We're not trying to attribute it to anything else except exactly what happened. Okay. So B looks pretty good. C, Tim is scared. Nope. Right. Immediately out. Okay. Scared, sad, afraid, angry. Nope. We're not describing behavior using those terms. Okay. C is out. D, Greg is tired, so he turned off the lights. Again, right? How do we measure that? Okay. There's a million reasons Greg could have turned off the lights. Okay. Even if Greg says he's tired, so he turned off the lights, people don't always tell the truth, right? So you can't measure it, you can't observe it, right? You can't describe it. But B is best. What happened? Susan dropped her pencil, then turned on the light. It's clear, it's straight to the point, it's objective, it's measurable. 9, your client is a 3-year-old with autism. Throughout the day, she will stick coins in her mouth. Whenever you tell her to stop, she smiles and continues to do it. Although she hasn't swallowed the coins, it is possible she could someday. What will be the best and quickest intervention for this behavior? Okay, so pretty dangerous, right? Sticking coins in her mouth, right? Kind of scary. But she hasn't swallowed it yet, but who's to say she won't? Okay. And then you have this extra piece. Whenever you tell her to stop, she smiles and continues to do it. Okay. So there's possible attention seeking behavior going on, right? So a lot to take in here, a lot to digest. What's the best intervention, okay, for the coin in the mouth behavior? Okay. So a lot going on. Let's see. A, put the behavior on extinction. Attention appears to be reinforcing the client putting coins in the mouth, and the client hasn't swallowed coins before. Now think about it. Yes, it appears attention might be the function here. But is it a good idea to put this behavior on extinction, okay, which in this case would be not telling her anything when she puts coins in her mouth? Is that a good idea? No, right? There's a lot of concerns there, safety concerns, ethical concerns, okay? So yes, the function might be attention, but given the scenario, okay, you can't say that would be the best or the quickest intervention, okay? You can't just let her put things in her mouth, right? As she could swallow it, right? It's very dangerous, okay? So A is out. B, send your client to timeout every time they put coins in their mouth. Well, that doesn't really tell us much, right? Because the function hypothetically, okay, or our hypothesis is the function is attention, right? Whenever you tell her to stop, she continues to do it, okay? So sending her to timeout every time they put coins in their mouth, okay, doesn't seem to do anything, okay, to address that function as well. Would that be quick, okay, or would you need to put her in timeout a lot of times? Okay, timeout's punishment. So there's a lot of things incorrect about B, okay, which wouldn't make it the best intervention for this behavior. Okay, you need to think through each of these, okay, in a variety of different ways, okay, all the pros and cons of these interventions. Okay, there's a lot of things wrong with B. C, continue to tell your client how dangerous it is to put coins in her mouth. They need to learn safety skills. Yes, all true, right? They need to learn safety skills, but has telling your client, okay, to stop doing it helped in the past? No, actually, it seems to be making it worse, right? Whenever you tell her anything, you tell her to stop, she just keeps doing it. So, sure, she needs to learn safety skills, but is this going to be the best intervention? Probably not. What about D? Hide all available coins and block your client from accessing coins. Yes. Given the scenario, given the severity of this behavior and the safety concerns, this is the best and quickest intervention to stop. Okay. You block all access, you block all coins, okay, until we can figure out a way, okay, to address the coins, okay. But at the moment, we need the best and quickest intervention given it's a safety issue, okay. So in the moment, hiding all coins and not even allowing the behavior to happen is the best and quickest intervention, okay. It's a great ABA question, okay. Try to understand that, work through each scenario in your head, give the pros, give the cons, okay, why they would work and why they wouldn't, okay. Great behavior question. And then 10, okay, which of the following is the last step in a skill acquisition plan, okay. So a skill acquisition plan, sometimes referred to as a treatment plan, right? This is how we teach a skill, okay. So there are multiple steps to skill acquisition plans, okay. Typically, you're going to start with identifying a skill you want to teach. Okay. You might identify a goal. Okay. You might take data, right? You want to implement the plan. Okay. But what would the last step be in this plan? Would it be A, modify the plan, B, implement the plan, C, identify a goal, or D, collect and analyze scaled data? Well, we just said, right, what needs to come at the start? Well, you need a goal at first, okay? You always want to be setting goals, okay, so we can know progress versus no progress, okay? So identifying the goal is definitely not the last step. It's one of the first steps. Okay, what about B? Implement the plan. Implement the plan is going to come in the middle, right? Because after you identify a goal, you've got baseline, okay? Now you want to implement the plan and you want to see what's happening, okay? You can't modify the plan unless you've implemented the plan, okay? So B and C definitely come before A. And what about D? Collect and analyze scale data. So D would be that second to last step, okay? You've got your goal, you've got your skill, you've implemented, okay? Now you're analyzing the data. Is our intervention working? Is the skill changing? Now what? Now we say, okay, do we need to change the plan or do we not? If the plan is working, there's no modification necessary, right? Just keep doing what you're doing. But if the plan isn't working, then yeah, maybe some modifications need to occur. So the last step in a skill acquisition plan, okay, is modifying that plan if necessary. Okay, so that's 1 through 10. We'll be back next week, okay, with 11 through 20. As always, you can get this exam, okay. I have 2 practice exams, this one and another one available, okay. You can also get the study guide, the flashcards, all on the links below. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help. More videos coming Wednesday and Friday, and of course, next week. As always, study hard, keep working hard, okay? You can pass. Just keep at it, okay? All right, see you next time.